Hey, everybody, welcome into Sports Hub STL presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours, and you are watching Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. I am Eric Sontag. You got Shawn Surwillo back this week, Tito Ulrich as well. We're getting you ready for the weekend, talking gambling on our hometown teams, and it is going to be a huge Friday night in downtown St. Louis with 3 games starting within about 15 minutes of each other. You got game 6 with the Blues and Jets at Enterprise Center. Then down the street, it's the Cardinals and Mets opening up a 3-game series at Busch. And at the Dome, it's the Battlehawks hosting Arlington. Also on Saturday, St. Louis City SC on the road at Seattle. We'll break down all those games for you here and also have our best bets from across the world of sports. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the Sports Hub STL YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell too so you don't miss anything here on Sports Hub STL. Domesticated Gamblers also available on podcast on Apple and Spotify, so you can check us out there as well. And our show today brought to you by Samonides Sweets and James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. So we'll tell you how you can support those awesome advertisers as we go along. Shawn, we missed you last week at your brother's wedding. I'm sure it was amazing. So welcome back, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Missed you fellas last week. I almost hopped on a little remote assignment, but we had to put the suits on, the ties, get the photos taken. So I didn't want to interrupt my brother's special day. It was a great time. My old ass was in bed by 11 o'clock Friday night while everyone else still went out. But, coach life was the next day. So, I watched the show. You fellas did a good job. Tito gave out a LeBron pick. I actually played that. So kudos to you, Tito. Welcome to the gambling part of the show. And I'm happy that you're kind of catching on here to this gambling stuff.
Not really catching on, Danny. Don't even spread those words around me right now, baby. I'm too busy. I'm sweating bullets over here, Aaron. I got a vasectomy later on Friday. That's got me. I had to do a little manscaping last night. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. I can't believe luckily I didn't snip anything, but my goodness, I'm sweating bullets over here. So let's not talk anymore about gambling. Let's not talk anymore about me getting snipped up. But my oh my, I'm sweating bullets about this game number 6 with the Blues, Daddy.
Yeah, man. Well, you're going to be in good hands with the doc on this procedure. Literally, you will be in good hands. So best of luck, Tito, with the procedure. Yeah, we call it Domesticated Gamblers because we are 3 domesticated dads to like to gamble and talk about gambling. Tito with the vasectomy, Shawn in bed at 11 o'clock on the night of a wedding. There's a couple illustrations right there. We got a big show for you guys here today with this huge Friday night in St. Louis sports. And we're going to kick things off here on Domesticated Gamblers with that home team coverage. And it is brought to you by James Carlton with the State Farm Insurance Agency. He is my insurance agent. He is now Tito's insurance agent, and he's the agent for plenty of other satisfied customers. How about 425 5-star reviews on Google? James Carlton and his team are the real deal when it comes to saving you money and being there for you every step of the way when you need them. How about this review that just got posted yesterday? It reads, "A violent hailstorm caused much damage to our roof. The State Farm team made things happen quickly and efficiently. Even though the area was hit hard, they had an adjuster come out quickly. Here is the most impressive thing. The head of the agency, and that would be James, called me right away and explained the process. His team followed up from start to finish, got a new roof. Highly recommend." That is a perfect example of what I've been talking about. They take care of you quickly. They take care of you properly. And you got James getting involved right away to make sure everything goes smoothly. That's the kind of service you get when you're a client of James Carlton and State Farm. He saved me over $800 on my car and home insurance this year. So support the advertisers, guys. Get a quote. See what he can do for you. And I'm telling you, getting that quote is a few minutes that are definitely worth your time. Go to carltoninsurance.net or just email them PDFs of your current policies like I did. They'll take a look and let you know if they can save you money. And if you're anything like me and Tito, there is a very good chance they can. When you get a quote, mention Domesticated Gamblers or Sports Hub STL, and they'll donate to Mizzou's NIL fund on your behalf. So call 314-961-4800 or go to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And guys, let's get started on this big Friday, this St. Louis sports extravaganza by talking some St. Louis Blues hockey. It is game 6 of the Blues and Jets, with the Blues trying to stave off elimination. The home team has won every game in the series. So hopefully we see that trend continue here. The series odds, the Jets, after winning game 5, now a minus 450 favorite to win the series. If you want to bet on the Blues to win game 6 and 7, you can bet on them to win the series at plus 340. Now, the Blues are a slight favorite in game 6. They're listed at minus 115. The Jets are at minus 105. This total, I find it interesting, continues to sit at 5.5, despite 4 of the 5 games going over quite comfortably. The total at 5.5, the over still a plus 124, and the under's highly juiced at minus 148. So, Shawn, I'm going to start with you, man. A lot of ways you can go here. Side, total. Do you think the Blues get it done and force game 7, or where are you going for your pick on this game?
All right, I'm going to start getting into my gambling bag here. I've been talking a lot about my hot takes, this and that, and here's the bottom line. The books don't like the Blues. We're the longest odds to win the conference. We're at plus 2,500 to win the Western Conference, so we have the longest odds to get that home. It's going to be a tough road. I like the Blues at home. I think we can. I think the series will stay, winner at home, winning home. But, boy, it looks tough for the Blues to get out of this, even if they win this next round. I mean, they're taking up most hits out of any series. This has been tough. I hope Bennington can stand on his head like he did in Four Nations. But, boy, when I'm looking at these odds and I'm seeing Blues plus 2,500 to win the Western Conference, and they are plus 6,500 to win the Stanley Cup, I don't like my chances as a gambler. I'm going to fade them if we go to 7 games. I'm probably not going to bet it game 6. Only way I'd bet it is if I took the Jets game 6 in case we did lose, so my heart wasn't broken and my wallet. But I'll pass it over to Tito, see what he thinks.
Yeah, don't break your wallet, don't break your heart. And my God, Eric, with your different hyperboles, the St. Louis sports extravaganza. My goodness, you get me fired up just with those big words like that. Lottie freaking da. No worries whatsoever from my point of view. Game 5 was a big woof. I had to spend half my time missing the game because I had to go to a damn choir concert, and I was watching the damn game from the pew. My daughter's holding me accountable saying, "Dad, you didn't watch me sing." I was listening to you sing, Charlotte. I wasn't watching. I was watching the damn Blues, watching us go down a goal early, so big whoop on that. But my goodness, everyone needs to relax, pump the brakes. Sharpie Shawn wants to look at the odds makers and wants to talk about bets and looking at our odds. And, we got the worst odds. Lottie freaking down. All Tito knows is Jordan Binnington, when he goes to the playoffs, he stands on his head when the game is on the line. That's exactly what Binny's going to do to game 6. That's what he's going to do in Winnipeg on game 7. This Hellebuck fella, he let in a weak soft goal game 5. His head is still spinning, folks. So his head's gonna keep on spinning game 6, and the Blues are gonna take care of business game 7. Mark it down. Tito's calling it right now, baby. Woo!
There are a couple prop plays I would play. I do like the over 22.5 goals. Shots on net against Hellebuck. I think the Blues are going to shoot the puck. We're back at home. We really struggled to shoot the puck last night, so I do like that. Also, Eric, you were hammering Jordan Kyrou. They moved that to 3 now. So the books are on you. The 2 number's gone. You can do the alternate line at 2 or 3, but the regular line here is at 3 at minus 110. But I do like that shots on goal prop. That's a pretty tasty one there on DraftKings.
Yeah, the Kyrou thing, I was kind of using the 2+ shots as like my coupon, where it was juiced pretty high, like around the minus 300 range, and I would use it to get a bet that I liked at around minus 150, minus 160, get it down to the even money range. Yeah, Kyrou, I wouldn't touch his props right now just because, he got lit up. Was that game 1 or game 2? He just got destroyed. And I just don't know if he's right now. He was pretty invisible in game 5. I do like the shots prop there, Shawn. The over on the Blues team total. That's kind of what we've seen when the Blues, I agree with you, Tito. I don't think Hellebuck is like over these playoff struggles. The Blues just didn't get enough shots on net in Game 5. I mean, I got to admit, I was surprised how much the Jets dominated Game 5. I thought the Blues had these guys. I thought the Jets had all these bad vibes around them. And credit to them, man. They came out and they pretty much suffocated the Blues. I know the Zebras really got involved in that game and were a big point of contention. But the Jets were just better. Zebras, good or bad. The Jets were just better, deserved to win. Hellebuck made a couple big saves, but like I said, I'm just not convinced he's over this. The Blues, they just got to get more pucks at the net, and they showed they can do that at home. Dude still gave up 3 goals on just 19 shots. Like that's an .842 save percentage for Game 5. The Snuggerud goal obviously was a softie, and this guy's now allowed 3 or more goals in 13 of his last 14 playoff games. So I do think the Blues are going to score some goals here. I do think they're going to force a Game 7, but I think the best play for this game is going to be what I did in Game 5 and take for the Blues to go over their team total of 2.5 again. That was a winning bet for me at plus money, even though the Blues lost the game. Got a little lucky. It was a late goal, but hey, when he pulled for the extra attacker, that can happen. So I'm going to run it back because of that Hellebuck stat where he's allowed 3 or more goals in 13 of his last 14 playoff games. So I'm taking the Blues team total of over 2.5. You'll be able to get that at about -115 or -120, somewhere in that range. So I do think the Blues will win, but I think that's a safer way to go about it.
And listen, Tito, for a guy like you who loves, Jordan Bennington, stands on his head, Blues to win in a shutout, plus 600. So you might want to throw a dart at that, Tito. You might want to throw $10 on it. That way you can make $60, buy you some frozen pizzas. So there's a lot of props. I'm really starting to get back into my bag here with the gambling. I could see a shutout. Bennington has done it before in the playoffs. He could stand on his head for sure. So that's an option there. And with Eric, you could maybe parlay those together, throw $5 on it. Here you go. Win some cash.
Yeah, I really want to see this get to Game 7, obviously as a Blues fan, but just for that drama with Bennington and Hellebuck. I would trust Bennington. I mean, we just saw it in the Four Nations, winner take all. And it's not like Hellebuck played bad in that game, but Bennington was out of his mind. And if you just look at his career, Bennington in these winner take all games, Four Nations face off, obviously Game 7 in the Stanley Cup final. Game 7 against Dallas, I think, is underrated how good he was in that game as well. I want to see that happen, and I would really like the Blues' chances in a Game 7. So Tito, you think they're getting it done? I do think if I'm not betting, I've already bet the series to bet the Jets emotional risk management. So I'm not going to, go any.
What were your odds on that ticket?
It was -190 for the Jets to win the series before the series began. So
if you get to Game 7, you could play around with that.
Yeah, potentially. But I trust Bennington when it counts. And that's why I think it almost the Jets played so well in Game 5 where the goalies almost didn't even matter, just because they just suffocated the Blues. But the Blues we see on home ice, they really get after their game. I think Blues first period might be a good look tomorrow or on Friday. I think they're going to come out like gangbusters here in the first period. So a lot of ways you can attack this game. Super excited to watch it. And the one thing that a lot of people are not going to be watching.
First period, Blues -0.5, plus 170.
That's correct. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. So sharp money there, Eric. I like that.
Yeah, I could definitely see the Blues coming out hot, just like we saw Winnipeg come out hot. They score very early on in the game, and any bad vibes that they were feeling were gone instantly. So I would not be surprised to see the Blues get one early. And then the Connor. I don't know if they're going to be saying we won Connor because we already going to have Connor, but we're going to be hearing Connor, and I just cannot wait. How many people are going to be at this Cardinals game on Friday night? I know their announced crowd will be something, but the actual people in the stadium, I don't know what we're going to see because everyone's going to be in this Blues. The Battlehawks are going to have their crowd, the people that, that go to all the Battlehawks games. So this Cardinals game Friday night against the Mets, we'll get to the game here in a bit, but I do want to get your guys' thoughts on the Cardinals' big picture. It's been not a bad week this past week. They take 2 of 3 from Milwaukee. They split the 4-game series with the Reds. I would have taken that going into this week if that's what you told me we would have. The record's still not great, 14-18 on the season. We're going to talk about this all year long, the season-long win total of 75.5, where Shawn and I are betting the over. Tito, you're on the under. The current pace is 71 wins. So just about where we expect it to be, although it's slightly pacing towards the under. So Tito, I imagine you're still feeling pretty good about your spot. Where are you at on these Redbirds big picture?
When you talk about slightly pacing over the under, it's under is cashing by four.
If they would have won the game today, they'd be pacing for over. So it's that we're looking on.
Stop it with this nonsense. If they would have done this, they would have got this. If they would have done that, and guess what? If they would have won half the games that they didn't win last year, they would be like a 100-win team too, by the way. So don't give me that nonsense logic. Lottie freaking da. This team is a big wolf. I mean, I can't understand this team whatsoever. At home, they're probably one of the best teams at home, but on the road, they're struggling. I think the only teams that have less road wins than they do is like the White Sox and I don't even know, some other Jag team. I think it might be the Rockies. Woof. Yeah. I mean, those are the only
Rockies haven't won 2 games in a row all year. That's how bad they are.
Big woof. Yeah, they're terrible. Absolutely atrocious. So this team can't win on the road. I don't know what the scenario is there. The fact of the matter is that they got a nice little homestand this weekend. They got the Pond Scum Mets, big wolf on them. Look for them to take care of business. I know Doc Gooden's in town for some sort of charity event or some other promotion. So hopefully he gets down to Busch and sees the Redbirds light up the Metropolitans. But I'll tell you what, Tito's under is looking more and more feasible every day, every minute. So you guys can talk about 75.5. We're gonna be cashing this bet. Tito's still way over on the under. And Tito's looking sharp every single day. What do you think about that, Mr. Sharp? Huh? You got no accent today? Where's the Mr. Sharp accent for us today, baby? Come on.
Mr. Shawn, Mr. Sharp is not here today. He'll make his grand appearance here when the NFL season comes around. This Cardinal team though, they're not like the White Sox. They're not like Colorado. They're not this piss poor team that I think that some of these Cardinal fans are rooting for. They're rooting for the 100 losses so they can say, we told you Mozeliak sucks. If this is a rebuild year, damn, it's not that bad to be a 71-win team and be a rebuild. Like, for real, that's not that bad. I'm sure the White Sox would take 71 wins or the Rockies, So if they win 70 games in a rebuild, let's take it. In all honesty, I still do think we can get that number home. There's been a lot of close games, and the team's been improving. The pitching staff's turning it around. The bullpen's really turned it around the last few games. And you take the series from Milwaukee, and then you go and you split. Today was a weird game, right? The rain delay. Liberatore was pitching pretty decently. He given up 2 runs, I think, in 2 innings. That game probably goes a different way if he gets to come back out. So he gets sat down after the rain delay. We go, I don't even know who came in. Who came in as the long guy?
With that Swanson guy. He wrecked my first 5 under, which was still looking pretpretty good until they had to rip out Liberatore. Swanson comes in.
Mr. Sharp was on that over because that wind switched directions.
Yeah,
but
You're right.
Yeah, that's Swanson. I mean, that Ollie just kind of threw the white flag like Steve Kerr did last night and pulled all the starters, So looking forward to tomorrow night's game. And also, the attendance. I know the media has been all over in STL, but around Major League Baseball, I watch a ton of baseball, and it's down. It's just down. Attendance is down. I think everybody's feeling it in their wallet. They don't want to go see baseball games yet. There's only teams like Philadelphia, the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Cubs. They're filling the stadiums up every year because those truly are the best fans of baseball. They show up no matter what. But tomorrow, Sonny Gray against Clay Holmes.
Cook, Mr. Sharp, cook.
I would say I wouldn't play anything here. I don't like anything. Juan Soto, he had 2 home runs today. So hopefully we start walking Juan Soto because this dude's going to get hot eventually. So I don't know, Eric. I don't know what your numbers say here. The Mets are one of the best teams in the National League, but there's really no bets here I like. I can dive around on the prop plays while you give us your take, Eric.
Yeah. I guess the first thing I want to mention, I probably should preface this in case there's some inconsistencies where we're saying today, tomorrow, whatever. We are recording this on Thursday evening because of Tito's vasectomy on Friday. So this is Domesticated Gamblers After Dark tonight. So we're a little loopy here. Getting past our bedtime here, boys. So recording this on Thursday night to air on the Sports Hub STL YouTube channel on Friday. As you were talking, Rocky's road record 1-14. I just had to give the facts on that. 1-14 on the road. So that could be a money making opportunity fading the Rockies on the road. Might have to be laying some -1.5.
I'm fading them right now, and I'm not winning. So
I'll start with big picture on the Cardinals. Like the starting pitching has held up so far. Like the ERA is in the top half of the league with starters, but I am just really concerned about what this is going to look like when the weather gets warmer. Like Sonny Gray and Liberatore, I'm good with them. Like Gray's been right about what you expect. Yeah, Liberatore, it was a tough break with the rain delay on Thursday in Cincinnati where that start got cut short, but he's been fantastic. A 30-3 strikeout to walk ratio, just crazy good. But like the other three starters, not counting Matt's, because Matt's is kind of whatever. The dude just deals wherever they stick him in. But Michaelis, Palante, and Fetty, the results have been okay so far. Like Fetty's been good in most of his starts. Like Michaelis, somehow he has been good in all of his starts except for one. Palante's been okay overall if you look at the numbers. But like those three, they barely get any swings and misses. Fetty, Michaelis, Palante, they've pitched a total of 94 and a third innings. They only have 54 strikeouts between them. And they also have 37 walks between them. So 54 strikeouts and 37 walks in over 94 innings. It's like, what happens when it's 80 or 90 degrees and they're giving up all this contact and allowing all these base runners? Like, I am very worried that the starting pitching is just going to blow up here a few weeks from now as we get closer to Memorial Day. And the offense, like the numbers are still pretty good overall, but just some of the individual performances, like I am really concerned about. Tito, you and I talked a lot about Jordan Walker on this show last week. His OPS is still in the 500s. The numbers are not good for Gorman. Batting average under 200. OPS in the 600s. Burleson has an OPS right about 600. So, like, hopefully those numbers get better as the weather heats up. Like, and I still want to see those guys out there every day, especially Walker and Gorman. Like, I know Burleson.
Got to remember, Walker had a shortened spring with the knee injury again. Yep. We kind of talked about that leading up to the season. He got a slow start. The swing has looked better the last couple games. He's got to stop. He's stepping in the bucket too much. He's always pulling off, and that's his biggest problem right now. He's
getting killed with it off speed when he's got two strikes on him. He's got no chance. But like that's what this season is about is letting these guys play, get 500, 600 at bats, and figure it out. And like on the good side, like the arrow was definitely pointed up for guys like Donovan. Newt Barr's been fantastic. Mason Wynn, his numbers after a tough start, his numbers look real solid now. And Victor Scott has been just what you want. For his first full season in the big leagues. Excited to get Ivan Herrera back this weekend, hopefully. I don't know if you guys saw him win deep for Memphis on his rehab on Thursday. Yes. But overall, like, I just think this starting pitching staff is due for some big-time regression coming up. So, like, I feel okay about the over 75.5, but, like, I definitely don't feel great about it. And, like, we need Walker and Gorman to take step forwards because if they don't, I don't think we're going to hit this over. And just more importantly, I think this organization is just going to be in a really tough spot about what to do with these guys moving forward. If we get to the end of the season and they don't have a 700 OPS, they're like, if they're in the 600s or something, like, I don't know what they do with that. So Tito, do you got any other thoughts? Like, just, I know I kind of been talking for a little bit there, but just like the big picture of like my concern of the starting pitching and just the offense, some highs and lows, but like the Walker and Gorman are just really standing out right now as huge concerns.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you make some very valid points. A lot of people are going to be eating crow in the next year or two related to Liberatore. He was the guy that got traded. He's the guy that we traded for Randy Rosarino. So if this guy keeps on pitching like this, and like we said last week, Eric, this is him getting acclimated to becoming another starter next year. If he can be an ace or a 2, my goodness, this guy has it. I absolutely love this guy. I'm really, really high on him. I am super, super concerned with Jordan Walker. I called it spring training. Alec Burleson, he's got 0 home runs, folks. 0. Where are you, Alec Burleson, you big lumberjack? Start hitting the ball out of Homer's Lane and you jack wagon. I don't know what we're doing over here, but my goodness, Jordan Walker needs to pick it up. I'm excited to see Ivan Herrera come back. Newbar, if he can stay healthy, Shawn, you're right. If he can stay healthy, my goodness, a big breakout year for him's coming. So I'm not overly concerned with the offense to a degree in regards to Donovan or Newbar. Wynn has been on fire recently, so I'm really excited to see that. But this pitching staff, big wolf. I know Shawn is super high on Miles Michaelis and wanted to deal him at the deadline. Big wolf on that. He's got a no trade clause, and there's no contending team that's going to want a 39-year-old pitcher that has no postseason experience. So we can talk about that later on. But my goodness, this pitching staff, whether it's the bullpen or the starters, give me Liberatore and give me Sonny Gray all day. But the rest of them, I can leave all the rest of those guys. I'll tell you that right now, Jack.
It seems like Ollie's really finding his footing. He put Wynn in the 2-hole. Good move. Actually, for Wynn, the best thing that happened to Wynn was getting injured. He got to go to the minors, calm down, because he was in a bad slump. And that was the best thing for him. He got a break. He got to go back to the minors, work on his swing, got his confidence back. Having him in the 2-hole is great. Love it. Contreras has always been a 5-hole hitter. That's where he belongs. He's got some power. He's not a high. He walks a little bit, but I love Contreras in a 5-hole. I hope they keep him there for most of the lineup. But also, as the season goes on, if Scott keeps this up, he needs to be in the leadoff, then Wynn, then give me Nootbaar, then give me Contreras, then give me Nolan Arenado. Arenado's not a 4-hitter anymore. As the season goes on, I would like to see the lineup constructed like that because Newt's got a little more power. Oh, I'm sorry, Brendan Donovan's in there too. So maybe Donovan in the 4-hole, then Contreras, then Nolan Arenado. Sorry, I forgot all about Donnie. He's third in the National League in batting average. But I definitely like to see Scott as the leadoff hitter as the season goes on. I love Nootbaar's game, walking, the power. He's got a little more power, though, so I think he could be a better 3-hole hitter, kind of what they're doing with Donovan, the on-base guy. So that's long season for me. I do agree with the pitching. Miles isn't going to hold up in July in Busch Stadium or anywhere else. Palante, same thing. He can keep the ball down a little more and get more ground balls. But you got McGreevy. You got some young guys you can bring up to help the rotation. But long term, that's going to be where the Cardinals have to invest some draft picks and some more pitching for sure. And Walker's got 1 or 2 more years. They're not going to do anything with Walker. Gorman, he might get DFA'd after this year if he doesn't turn around.
I don't know. I don't know about all of that. I mean, you got new leadership coming in after this year. I mean, I think a lot of these younger players.
That's
true.
I mean,
if Newbar gets hurt, they may be looking to dump him. I mean, who knows, right? That's a total hypothetical. But my goodness, I mean, a lot of these younger guys. I mean, even Jordan Walker to a degree. If Hein Bloom is not excited about Jordan Walker, he hasn't really been consistently hitting. I know he's not gotten any support from the.
I think he's still 22 years old, though. He's still very
That's true.
young.
Yeah.
What's Gorman, 24, 25?
He's 25. Yeah, there's no way they're going to give up on him. He's just 2 years removed from hitting 27 homers and having 76 RBIs and an OPS over 800 in 2023. That's in there somewhere. And that's what we've talked about with this team, like with the player development and the coaching, needing to unlock that's in there. Jordan Walker had a very good, a solid rookie season in 2023 as well. That is in there too. They just need to unlock that. So it's there. I still like, Nootbaar. I see the argument for moving Newt down in the lineup, but only if Scott can get his on base up. He's only, it looks like he's at a 336 OBP. That's not good enough for the leadoff spot, but Newt at a 400 OBP, 839 OPS and 5 homers. Like that's someone that you would love to have in a power spot, but until someone can emerge as that on-base guy, to be
I think as the season goes on, if Scott can keep building on what he's got right now, he's the guy you want leading off because he's at third base with a single. I mean, I think he's 6 for 6 in bags or maybe more than that now. I'm not sure what his numbers are, but he's the guy down the road you want to lead off. So you want to give him some experience there eventually, especially if this is a rebuild year. We get to May or June, he needs to be batting leadoff. Last year, I pounded the desk for Mason Wynn to bat leadoff, and they finally gave it to him. Let these young guys get up there and show their speed. Come on, this is what they drafted these guys for, especially Scott.
Victor Scott, 10 for 10 in stolen bases. and we're like a fifth of the way through the season. What are we, 30 games in? So he's on pace to steal 50 bags at this point.
I think
if
I
he
gave
stays
50
healthy.
out on the prop play, for the season.
Yeah, I think DraftKings is offering a 30+ opportunity and a 40+ opportunity on stolen bases for Scott. So, that's kind of what the season is. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. I think I've heard Randy Carricker say that, like, basically all these young guys, half of them are probably going to hit and half of them are going to flame out. And I think that's probably spot on. But Liberatore, I think, is the perfect example of, he went into this season knowing I'm a starter. They're not going to F with me. I have 2 bad starts in a row. I'm not getting put back in the bullpen, kind of like what they're doing with Steven Matz. Matz is a veteran. He can handle it. He's a big boy. And he's getting paid a lot of money. So, but Liberatore being, needing to establish himself as a big leaguer and as a starter, to me, he has been the number one most positive sign. So it just really sucked that his start got cut short on Thursday.
Here's the thing with Libby. At home, he's got a 2 ERA. On the road, he's got a 4.85. That's one thing to watch all season. He's on my fantasy club, so I know this very well about him. So just, he needs to pitch a little better on the road, but he has to have some tough road games, so we'll see where he ends up. But I love the progression for Libby, for sure.
Yeah. Another pitcher that's been very good at home throughout his career is Sonny Gray, who was Friday night starter against the Mets. He's got a 3.06 ERA and 26 career starts at Busch. So Sonny Gray, he's been rock solid, just what you want. This game against the Mets on Friday night, he's up against Clay Holmes. Mets, a short favorite, minus 120. Cardinals money line is set at plus 100. Total is at 7.5. So Shawn, you were saying you're not quite sure, no great lean in this game. I don't know if you've been looking at any props or not. But Tito, I'll let you go first on this one. What do you think here for the Cardinals and Mets on Friday night?
I love the Cardinals, baby. Let's beat those pond scum bastards. Let's go, Cardinals. Tito was eating crow a couple weeks ago talking about how the Phillies were going to come in and sweep the Redbirds, but my, Tito was absolutely dead wrong on that one. Big wolf to me on that. So let's go with the Cardinals. Let's beat those pond scum. What are you calling Soto Succo? I love it. Let's go. Let's hold these guys accountable. Woo!
Yeah, he was referred to as Juan Succo on a fantasy baseball podcast I listened to when he was with San Diego, because that ballpark did not play for his swing at all. So they called him Juan Succo till last year, until he got to New York.
Yeah,
I got you.
Tito, I'm liking the pick of the Cardinals. I was just thinking, like, man, Tito's becoming too predictable. We know what he's going to say in the show. And what do? You come over the top and pick the Cardinals. I love it.
Listen, he didn't pull a Mel Kiper. He admitted that he was wrong with the Phillies. He didn't go on and on and on and say, he's the best at picking prospects, and 32 teams were wrong over and over. So good job, Tito, not being a Mel Kiper.
I love it, baby.
What a wolf on that guy.
Just when you think I'm going down, I sing. When you think I'm going to zag, Daddy. Woo!
Oh, I love that. So I really don't love anything here either, to be honest. I do lean under 4.5 in the first 5. Gray, quality starts in 5 of his first 6 outings of the year. Love that. Dude's just rock solid. It's what I want out of a pitcher. I referenced the really good stats at Busch over his career. And the Mets have, like, the best ERA in baseball by far. Like, it's crazy how good their pitching has been through the first month plus. And Holmes has certainly helped with that. He's got a 2.64 ERA. And he just shut down the Cardinals a couple weeks ago with 6 innings of 1-run ball. So it's just a lean for me because you got to lay minus 140. I'm not laying that on a first 5 total of under 4.5. So I don't want that. Mm-hmm. You might want to take a look at Sonny Gray's strikeout prop. He has gone under in 5 of his 6 starts this season. He's actually averaging under a strikeout per inning this season, which is odd to see with him having over 200 Ks last season. Mets also do not strike out a lot, so that could be worth a play as well. I see a strikeout prop on DraftKings currently listed at 5.5. The overs at minus 120, unders at minus 110. So the books have adjusted a little bit. I think that's been closer to 6.5 for most of his starts this year. So I don't really know what's going on with that. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if this is, a dip in velocity. I'm not really sure. At 5.5, it's probably a pass for me. But Sonny Gray strikeout props, something to keep an eye on here as we go forward to see if this improves. Because like I said, over 200 Ks last season, you would think he'd be putting up much better numbers. So Shawn, as you've been looking, as we've been jibber jabbing here, do you see anything that catches your eye for this game on Friday?
Yeah, we're gonna go Juan Soto over 1.5 total bases. That's at plus 130. I mean, the guy hit
Mm.
2 homers a day. He's seen the ball again, and he walks like nobody's business. You know, he has 100 walks every year, so I like that a little bit. And then Newt Bar over a half is minus 175. No, thank you. So that'd be it. And then I'll ride with Tito and let's take the Birds money line. Let's go Birds, baby.
Yeah.
They've been
Back it
they've been
home.
hot at home. You know.
Yeah.
Play well at home. Well, yeah. Well, guys, player props, definitely a great thing to dive into as you're betting baseball. I think that's where you can find a lot of value a lot of times. And with baseball season in full swing, it is time to step up to the plate with DraftKings Pick Six. Download DraftKings Pick Six and think of it as your fastball right down the middle. It's the easiest way to play for cash and take a shot at a big win. Just select 2 or more players and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. So sounds like Shawn is looking at the over on some Juan Soto props tomorrow. Like I said, I'd also be looking at Gray going under on his strikeouts props. So that's the kind of stuff you can do on DraftKings Pick Six. It's available in most states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Missouri, and more. So cash in your baseball knowledge. New players get $50 in Pick Six credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick Six credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick Six from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick Six not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick Six credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, guys, the third
Before
game.
we move on, Eric.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Move there. I want to talk to you about this May specials. So they had an April specials on DraftKings for whoever had the most wins in the month of March/April. So the Padres and the Dodgers tied in that, and so they have May specials now. Have you ever bet these?
No, I've not heard of this.
Yeah. So right now you can go on there. A few teams have already played. So those bets have already closed. But I like the Padres a lot. Over 13.5 wins in May, minus 140. They're a long shot. The Marlins over 10.5, minus 150. But I kind of like the under 10.5. They have a tough schedule. And I'm just curious if you had ever seen that.
I have not, but the Padres, that whole National League West, I'd be curious to look at the Padres schedule. I don't think they play anybody from the National League West in the month of May. They get some Pirates, they get some Rockies action,
Yes.
Angels, Mariners. There's Marlins. There's more Pirates in there. I kind of like that play, man. Our boy Mike Schilt is just killing it for the San Diego Padres. That National League West, I think it's possible you get 4 playoff teams out of that division. It's probably not likely.
So Padres over 13.5 wins. You lay minus 140, but I think that's maybe free money.
Dude,
with that schedule.
I think that's sharp.
Aren't the Rockies in the West?
Oh,
yeah. Wiffle ball team.
Rockies currently 15.5 games out of first place as we sit here right now as we record this show. Oh my goodness. So, lots of great offerings on DraftKings. It really is a fantastic sports book. I'm not just saying it because they're a sponsor. It is my go-to, just all the offerings that they have. There's really a lot of different interesting markets, and that's one right there, Shawn, you uncovered I was not aware about. So thanks for bringing that up, brother.
Yeah, and then one other thing I've noticed, the under in Texas is just a cash cow right now. No runs being scored in Texas. So something there in baseball. 2 little tidbits about gambling thought I'd share.
I love it, man. Well, another thing you can bet on DraftKings is the UFL. And the third game in downtown St. Louis on Friday night is your St. Louis Battlehawks at the Dome against the Arlington Renegades. Battlehawks, they showed a lot of moxie last week. They rally and defeat the Michigan Panthers in a really fun game, 32-27. And that actually sets up a big game here on Friday. So the top 2 teams in each conference move on to the playoffs. The Battlehawks and their opponent Arlington are tied for second place in their conference at 3-2. And there's 5 games remaining. So the winner of this game is really going to have a leg up in the race for a playoff spot here. The Battlehawks, they were a home dog last week, but you are getting no such favors this week. Battlehawks come in as a 3.5-point favorite. And the total here is 42.5, which, if I am not mistaken, I think that is the highest total that I've seen in a Battlehawks game this season, maybe the highest in a UFL game this season. So, Shawn, I don't know if you've got a chance to look at these UFL numbers for this weekend, but what are you thinking on the Battlehawks and the Arlington Renegades?
I'm guessing we're on the road.
We're at the Dome. It's 3 games in downtown St. Louis.
It's always opposite of what it should be when I'm looking at this. Give me the Hawks minus 3.5 and give me the under for 2 dimes, baby. Give me 2 dimes on the under and give me a dime on the 3.5 with the Hawks.
Can you explain to Tito what a dime is?
A dime is an old term that gangsters had to use on the phone when they would gamble. They would say, give me a nickel. A nickel was 50, right? A dime was 100. Give me a quarter, 25. So
like
the government, so it wasn't over $1. You know, it was illegal to be over $1.
That's a Mr.
So
Sharp window there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Great.
It's probably dying off. I don't know. Does anybody say give me a dime on it anymore except my uncles?
I think usually a dime in Vegas now is like 1,000. I think the inflation has got the dime. So I don't know if you want to be laying not going to be laying a grand on the UFL. Tito, are you going with the Cardinals tomorrow?
Give me a penny on them, baby.
Tito, you're 2 for 2 picking St. Louis teams here. Are we going 3 for 3 with hockey?
I mean, who knows? I don't quite know. Big wolf on this. I mean, every time I pick the damn Battlehawks, they let me down. They hold me accountable. So I'm gonna stay away from the fucking XFL. This is the XFL. I know it's not the XFL, it's the XFL division. But my goodness, Max Dugan, show me something tomorrow night. Even though I'm not gonna be watching any of that, I'm gonna be watching the Blues and watching the Cardinals. Wolf. But show me something, Max Dugan. Make me get some interest in this Battlehawk team and actually see them actually make it to the championship game in the Dome. Hey, UFL, hey, Rock, if you want any butts in the seats, maybe rig this thing to make sure that the Battlehawks get to the championship game, Daddy. Let's go. If you smell what Tito's cooking.
Just put a 15 jersey on Dugan and he'll get the calls, right?
Yeah, a red jersey with Mahomes on the back instead of Duggan.
No, stop it. No. No, we got to move on. I don't want to get into it. I'm in a good mood.
I actually think that the under is actually a sharp play here. It's not just a lean. I think it's sharp because these two teams just met 2 weeks ago in Arlington. I think people see the final score was 30-15. So there's 45 total points scored. They go, okay, 42.5 game went over. If you look closer, there were 3 defensive touchdowns in that game.
Right.
Like that's what it took for it to go over. And that was the game when Manny Wilkins got hurt. I think it was the first drive of the game. And Max Duggan comes in. He had a chance to win it late in the fourth quarter, but it got a pick 6. I think with just a few seconds left in the game, that put the game over the total. It made the score look worse than it actually was. So I think these two teams are very closely or evenly matched. I think it's going to be a tight game. We're not going to get 3 defensive touchdowns again. So I think under 42.5, I think it's something I'm actually going to bet because I think
sharp, Eric. I didn't know that there was 3 turnovers. Wow. Yeah. Let's hammer that over. Give us a dime on it for real.
On the under.
Yeah.
And one of those defensive touchdowns is a poor Manny Wilkins. He tears his Achilles off of his body and he drops the ball out of pain. And the Arlington Renegades just pick it up and they run it back for a touchdown. So like a very, very fluky result. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes way under. Like if these teams can take care of the ball, and this is going to be a play for me. I mean, I got 2 TV action going on with me. I'm blessed here in Baldwin, but I'm going to have the Blues on the main TV, Cardinals on the secondary TV. But like, I'm going to be monitoring hockey because I think this is a really good bet that I think we talk about this a lot with MLS. The books are not monitoring this league as much as they are for a lot of the other bigger leagues. And so if you're watching this closely, I think there could be some value, as you look at these lower leagues. And let's start talking about this soccer team with St. Louis City SC. They'll be playing on Saturday night in Seattle, trying to snap a 6-game winless streak. City's last win came against this same Seattle team back on March 15th. It has been 4 losses and 2 draws since then. But I got to say, man, and Tito, I kind of hinted at this last week, I'm starting to see some signs of optimism these last 3 games. First, it was a 2-1 loss against a good Columbus team 3 games ago. Really should have been a 2-2 draw. It was a terrible offsides call. So that game should have been a draw against a good Columbus team. It's true. Like, I don't know
You've
how
been
the hell.
hammering the desk for that
Oh,
one.
God, it really and I actually won a bet because of that, because I was on Columbus, but it really irritated me. That was one I was not happy to win. Then they played the best team in the league in Vancouver. They get a draw. I know it was 0-0, but they hold this high-scoring team scoreless to a draw. And then last week, City gets a 2-2 draw on the road at LAFC. That second half was bonkers, man. That was super exciting to watch. Really fun and exciting second half. And Seattle, they're unbeaten in their last 3 games with 2 wins and a draw, so they're playing well. But, man, they're a super heavy favorite here on Saturday against City. The price is minus 215 on Seattle, which I think is crazy. City to win the game, 5-1, plus 500. So, I think a dart on that isn't the worst idea in the world. The draw set at plus 320. Total is set at 2.5. The over's juiced up to minus 130. The under's at plus 105. I think that's about the same price we had last week, too. So Tito is our resident City season ticket holder. What are you thinking on this club? I think it's an interesting situation right now where I really feel like you could look at this either optimistically or pessimistically.
Yeah, I'm going to be more pessimistic about this than optimistic. Especially with some of the injuries that City's having to deal with Kessler. Who knows if Lubin's coming back? I'm not sure. I haven't gotten an update on Berkey. Didn't see any news today during the pre-match press conference by this fraud of a coach Melberg. I'll tell you that guy. All he can do is teach defense. That's it. There's no offensive strategy. I mean, there was a little bit more excitement this past Sunday. I was excited about these damn zebras in the MLS. I mean, they are so eager to throw out a yellow card for City. That's like 2 games out of the last 3.5 or 4 where a City player has been showing the door because of 2 yellow cards. Big whoop on that. I don't understand that. But you know what? I like the under on this, but I like the under from a Sounders perspective. Don't like City to go into Seattle and take care of business.
What do you mean by that? Sorry to cut you off. What do you mean you like the under from a Sounders perspective? Like
I think it's going to be like a 1-0. I think it's going to be maybe a 1 or 2-0 win for the Sounders. Okay. I think there's no offensive strategy for City, and with our defense lacking, I'm thinking the Sounders take care of business, especially on the road, and we're going to be on the road. So I'm liking the Sounders to go under, maybe win 2-0. Because City has 0 offense. Show me something, Klaus. Let me
give you the numbers. Under 2.5 team goals, Sounders minus 265.
Yeah, you probably just want to take under 2.5 for the game if you're doing that, where you get plus money, plus 105.
Yeah, and that's where this gambling can get you. If you see that, why wouldn't you take the under for the game, right? Why are you going to lay minus 265? I'm with you, Eric. I'm going to throw a dart and give me City plus 500. I think for some odd reason, they get a win. I don't know. I kind of been nailing some City games. I think they get the win.
I will say about this Melberg, I really enjoy his outfits that he chooses to coach in. He dresses like me. He dresses like me when I'm at home. He's in a t-shirt and gym shorts, and he looks like he just playing pickup basketball or something.
It's time to fire him so we can get the coach bump. Come on. Been calling for his head for a few weeks. Let's go.
I don't know, man. I am seeing signs of optimism. I really am. And I'm going to be doing something I haven't done in a while, and I'm going to be betting on City here. I don't think I'm going to take the money line. I'll probably be kicking myself if I miss out on a plus 500. But I've actually already bet this. I'm on City plus 1, and it's at even money at plus 100 on DraftKings. So what that means is if City wins or gets a draw, I win the bet. And again, it's a plus 100, so it's not crazy payout. If they lose by 1, this bet is a push because I'm on City plus 1. The only way I lose money is if City loses by 2 or more goals. And I just have a hard time seeing that happen here. So City has lost by 2 or more goals just once all season long. in their 10 games. That was that game at Kansas City that got real bad late, where they just looked like they kind of gave up a little bit. I don't think Seattle's a team that's going to do this to them a second time to win by multiple goals. And really, my handicap has more to do with Seattle than it does about City. So if you look at Seattle's schedule, in their last 11 games overall in all competitions, because they've been playing in that CONCACAF Champions Cup too. In their last 11 games overall, Seattle has scored 0 or 1 goals in 9 of those 11 games. If they do that again, if they score 0 or 1, it's impossible for me to lose this bet. So, and thanks to my guy, Will Bratton, for this information, our colleague here at Sports Hub STL, Seattle is almost certainly going to be without their best player and their all-time leading goal scorer, Jordan Morris, in this game because of a hamstring injury. So, Tito, you mentioned City's fighting injuries, which is true, but Seattle's missing the best player they've ever had. So, and Morris also didn't play in this game in St. Louis back in March. Seattle had nothing offensively. City shut them down, and they beat them 1-0. That was that game Leuven had that just beautiful free kick goal that he put. It's probably the goal of the year for City. Otherwise, it's probably a 0-0 draw, but a 0-0 draw gets me home here with City +1. So I guess put it this way, and I bet a lot of soccer. Whenever I see a line of +1 in a soccer game, I think to myself, okay, is it more likely that this underdog loses by 2 goals, or is it more likely that the underdog gets a result, either gets a draw or gets a win? To me, in this game, the data screams it's way more likely that City gets a draw as opposed to losing by 2. So I actually really, really like this play the more I dive into it. Again, I'm on City +1. You can get that at +100 on DraftKings. Shawn, it looks like I know you like when I talk soccer because this is me shining. This is me coming out as a sharp.
It is, but before this show ends, the Domesticated Gamblers, however long our tenure goes, one time I'm going to get you to bet a big dog. I am. I'm going to get you to put a +500 ticket. You like that even money, -110 range. One of these times, just throw $10 on it, and when you win +500, baby, it's going to change your life. I know it as a gambler. I know it.
I know.
I'm going to get you to do it.
Yeah, you have to. We compliment each other so well because I'm a cautious person by nature, and this is why you've been such a good gambler for years now. Hey, yeah, that's right. I'm slurping him, Tito. I'm slurping him here.
Yeah.
Shawn has this gut instinct that is just second to none of anybody that I've seen. You know when to strike, and this is what helped you build a bankroll. And this is like, and Shawn, maybe we can talk a little bit about this. Like, you didn't start betting $100 a game or even $500, whatever. No. When you make a lot of mistakes, because when this thing, and we'll dive much further into this when we have a firm launch date for Missouri sports gambling, coming up and becoming totally legal where people can do it. But man, people really got it. Probably the number one rule is your bankroll management when you get started. Because if you've not bet before or you haven't bet a ton, you are going to lose for a little while before you get it figured out. If you ever get it figured out, most people still lose no matter what. So to me, the unit size, I don't care if a unit size is $5 when you get started or $1, whatever, just something where you can where it's not going to impact your life in a negative way if you lose, where it doesn't hurt your mood, but also you're probably, if you're going to really get into gambling for the first time when this launches in Missouri, I guarantee you, if you keep track of every single play you make, for 90+% of the people, 1 year later, they're going to be down. So why would you be 90? Is that the number? Yeah. So why would you, oh, let me just finish. Cause why wouldn't you just bet $1 or $5 on, have that be your unit size. So then you can kind of see okay, now I kind of know after a year when I keep track of how I'm doing, why would you lose your ass and put yourself through that if 97% of people are going to lose? That's where I'm at. If you're a beginning gambler, don't be a hero with your unit size. Keep it small. What do you think on that, Shawn?
Oh, totally agree. It takes a lot of losses to learn. One thing I need to adapt as a gambler is the future market, because you can really hedge as the season goes on, and that's something I need to get better with. And this year, I'm going to do that a little more with the NFL. I'm going to start dabbling a little more with some futures because, you look right now at the NFL futures here on DraftKings. Conference winner: the Eagles +300, Lions +475. the market's pretty much right on with them. But the Washington Commanders plus 800, could they win the NFC? Yes. So if you put a future in, let's say you put $1 on them, that's plus 800. So you can get an 800 return. So you're sitting on an $800 ticket. If they're in the conference championship game, you can hedge that, and you're cashing no matter what. So that's something I got to get better at. A lot of sharps play the future market, and I got to get better at that. But yeah, Eric, for sure. If once this thing goes live, like Tito, get $5.
Yeah.
Put it in DraftKings. They're going to give you a $500 bonus, or I don't know what it is. Is it still $500 your first bonus bet?
It'll depend, and there's always restrictions and all that stuff. But I guess what you're saying is start small. Even if you're betting, I don't care if you're betting 50 cents a play. Like if it's something just to give yourself some competition. Like I kind of view this as like, for me, I know I've said this before. Some people want to be a scratch golfer. Like that's their goal. You don't get anything for that. You don't get any kind of monetary bonus for becoming a scratch golfer. Me, it's all about just wanting to be profitable in sports gambling. It's trying to compete with myself and beat myself. I've done it 2 out of the last 3 years. I'm like up literally. It's May 1st or May 2nd. I'm up 1 unit for the year overall as we sit here today. So it's like, and I've had a lot of fun, probably betting 600 games. And I have to look at my stats, but like, and that's what this is all about to me, is the entertainment value. That you're not going to get rich on this. Okay. Like very few people can do this. This is all about entertainment, have a little bit of skin in the game. We're having some fun. That's what we're trying to do in the shows, have a little bit of fun. So if someone like Tito, and you could talk about Tito, you're not a gambler. You lost the first time you ever went to casino, you lost your first blackjack hand or something. I mean, you go ahead and tell the story, but just like, it's not about like trying to make a ton of money off it, right? Because some people, you're just not wired for that.
Right, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing about, first time I ever went to a boat, I was sweating bullets. I was spending $5 a hand on blackjack, and the dealer was making fun of me. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me, Daddy. So big woof on that. And don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to spend my damn money. I got 6 fucking kids, okay, Sharp? I don't know what to tell you. I gotta feed them. I gotta get them through high school. I gotta get them through college. Big woof. So no, in all seriousness, doing this show, you guys are trying to loop me and you're trying to suck me in. So we'll see. But you're right. If you're not willing to spend some money, keep your unit size very, very small. Take it from Tito, Daddy.
Yeah, and F that dealer. If he really gave you crap about you only putting $5 a hand, like screw that guy. Like I'm really big on this. I know it's kind of a joke. Like we don't unit size shame. Like I don't care if you're betting 50 cents a game or 500. I really don't care. It's your business. It's nobody else's. And this shit can be addicting if you don't keep it under control. And you could people have had tons of problems, lost their family, lost their houses, lost everything because of the addiction part of it. So, I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but man, it's Thursday night. It's Domesticated Gamblers After Dark. We can get a little crazy with this. But I really want to nail that point home, and we will do it more as it gets closer to launching in Missouri, about just do not be a hero with the stuff, have some fun, and don't let it impact your mood, and don't lose a ton of money on it, because most people will.
In all honesty, I'm about a 55% gambler outside of the NFL. I'm average. I don't win a whole lot. I don't lose a whole lot. I'm just average. I break about even. But in the NFL, over 60%, I cash. So that's my forte. And as I've grown, I've learned, okay, this is where I'm going to make my money. I know the market. I'm sharp with the market. Also, Tito, this will excite you, actually. Kansas City Chiefs are plus 370 to win the AFC, but the Bills and the Ravens are ahead of them. So that's good news. The market doesn't like the Chiefs to win.
I don't like the Chiefs to win either. Big whoop. Chiefs are going to have the number 1 pick. They're going to be terrible this upcoming season. Big whoop on the damn fucking Kansas City Chiefs. We gotta move on. I'm gonna get too fired up, and I got a 1-month-old that I need to put to bed soon, so I can't get too fired up.
Well, let's move the show along.
One more thing with the NFL here. You can get prop bets on Shedeur Sanders, but you can't get them on Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is going to be a week 1 starter in Cleveland, the train wreck that is Cleveland. But you can already bet Sanders props. Take the under in all these. This guy is not going to be starting. He's got to beat 4 guys out. What is going on? the books are really taking advantage of the talk of Sanders here. This is crazy, man. Take the under on all Sanders props.
Are they offering? Do you have these up in front of you right now?
Oh,
Not at the time, but
okay,
I was earlier. I was looking at them.
All right, I'm trying to find them. Like I don't see them currently. I do see Cam Ward props, but I only see them where you can only bet the over. They don't allow you to bet the under. So and that's by design. So
correct.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you can find unders on Sanders, hammer them. Hammer them.
Cam Ward. We're talking passing touchdowns. 10 plus minus 2,000. 20 plus is even money. 25 plus 275. No way. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, that you can't bet the under.
You
cannot bet the under. So anyway, we'll move this along so Tito can get his 1-year-old to bed, or one month old.
I'm 1-year-old, 1 month old. You see me yawning over here. I'm getting no sleep. Big woof.
Well, first
Tito,
you gotta tell us.
I got one more for Tito.
Hold my goodness, come on.
Hold on, Tito. Hold on. I know you love the Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Huh? All right. We'll move on. Go on.
It's Domesticated Gamblers After Dark. You know what, Tito? You need a little sugar rush. I think you might need a Samonides Sweets cookie in your life. That'll get you rolling here. A little half-pound cookie action from Samonides Sweets. So tell us more about them, brother.
Sean's trying to get me fired up talking about these damn Kansas City Chiefs. So big whoop. So no matter what game has you fired up, no matter what team has you fired up, whether it's City battling the Sounders this week and under the West Coast moon, the Battlehawks throwing down against the Arlington Renegades in the UFL, or the Cardinals welcoming that pond scum Mets. Yes, we're calling them the pond scum. The hottest ticket in town is the St. Louis Blues against the Jets tomorrow night, Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Jets are about to experience pure, unfiltered playoff hockey chaos in St. Louis because Jordan Binnington, I've been saying it for weeks, he's the best clutch goalie in the league, Daddy. So guess what? There's zero doubt that we're forcing a Game 7 in Winnipeg on Sunday. Zero doubt. So speaking of zero doubt, thinking about certainties, you know what else makes playoff hockey, sports betting, and general life happiness even better? It's half-pound cookies from Samonides Sweets. Samonides Sweets proudly sponsors our home team coverage here on Domesticated Gamblers. And these aren't just cookies. They're baked works of art that will have you reconsidering every other dessert you've ever eaten. We're talking chocolate overload, sprinkle deluxe, white chocolate macadamia nut, plus many more, including Tito's go-to classic, the classic chocolate chip. Bonus sweetness alert. Order $30 or more and get a free cosmic brownie because playoff hockey deserves extra chocolate. So whether you're placing bets, screaming for the Blues, or trying to recover from your questionable life choices like betting the Mets to win anything, Samonides Sweets has the perfect snack for you. Hit up SamonidesSweets.com, secure your cookie stash, and let's bring all the energy for Game 6. Let's go Blues! Indulge in sweet perfection with Samonides Sweets.
I love it, Tito. Samonides Sweets, another great sponsor here on Domesticated Gamblers. And let's get to it. It is time for our best bets. These are our favorite plays from anywhere across the world of sports. Sean's got one more thing for you, Tito.
2026 NFL draft odds are out. Arch Manning is plus 225. He's the number one favorite to go number one overall, Tito. What do you think about that in 2026?
Big woof. 2026. Let's get through 2025 first. Let's see who wins the damn Heisman.
I'm betting it already. He's going number
one. Oh, my God. What a degenerate.
This reminds me of Lenardi. This is like Lenardi with his bracketology. We're already talking about this.
This is the stuff I love right here. I can't wait for NFL.
You're getting your NFL fix right here. Yeah. Sean's enjoying the NFL action already here. The draft's got you going. What we got going here is best bets that are just cashing, Tito. We swept the board with the two of us last week while Sean was out for his brother's wedding. Nice cash of LeBron over on his points prop in that Game 3 against Minnesota. So kick us off, man. Where are you going for your best bet here on the show?
Yeah, who knew that Tito was an NBA shark? Well, Tito is an NBA shark because we're going back to the NBA, and we're going to take the Jimmy Butler over. I think it's 20.5. I don't even know who the Warriors are playing. Big Wolf. I don't really care. I saw a video of the Rockets. I saw a video of Jimmy Butler holding Dylan Brooks. That fraud, that absolute embarrassment of a player. Dylan Brooks is an absolute embarrassment. I saw Jimmy Butler talking trash to Dylan Brooks. So I know Curry he's nursing a sore thumb. That's a JD Drew sword pinky woof. So look for Jimmy Butler to go over 20.5 points. That's minus 115. So I'm going to take Jimmy Butler over 20.5 points in the next game with the Warriors versus the Rockets, Daddy.
So Steph's got an ouchie, is what you're saying. Just like JD Drew, he's got ouchies.
Owie. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the Rockets been talking all about. They've been hammering that thumb too, boy. They've been hitting it. They've been giving him some problems. And then Steve Kerr pulls his team. I mean, they were down 30. He pulls every starter, and then they get it to 13. And he's thinking about bringing them back in, but he doesn't. They're gonna have fresh legs. I agree with you, Tito. I don't like the number though. That's a good play with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Warriors, I think minus 218 on the money line could be a really good parlay piece. I think they come out with a big response. They're minus 5 for the game. Maybe Warriors first half or first quarter really coming up pissed off, looking to send a message. I don't hate that play, Tito. I love playoff Jimmy. I just love the playoffs in general. The NHL and NBA have been just incredible. Like this Blues Jets series has just been like fantastic, and now the coaches are sniping at each other. It's been awesome. So it's been great theater, great time of year for sports. Shawn, week off last week. Where are you going here for your best bet on the show?
I'm going to take the Padres over 13.5 wins at minus 140 in the month of May. May special on DraftKings. Check it out. I love that bet. They got an easy schedule. I think that comes home. We cash that pretty easy. And then, Tito, I do like that Jimmy Butler play. I'm probably going to jump on that myself.
I like that. Yeah, the over 13.5 for the Padres at minus 140. I know it's a little bit of juice, but like I think that looks really good if you look at their schedule. They got a lot of wins for Mike Shelton.
2-dime play, baby.
So for me, man, it's been 3 best bet winners in a row here.
Yes.
Easy cash on that under with Everton and Chelsea at 6:30 in the morning. I was up with my kid watching it. It was great. It was 1-0, no sweat. So I want to keep this streak going as long as I can. I am going to the Champions League, fellas. It's the semifinals. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Games on Tuesday. It's Barcelona at Inter Milan. This is going to be on big CBS Channel 4. So I don't want people saying, oh, it's soccer. It's not a big deal. This is like middle of the day. They're preempting soap operas so they can show the Champions League on CBS, okay? This is Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock, Barcelona, Inter Milan. It's a 2-leg thing. They play 2 games. The first game is Wednesday this week. The final score was 3-3. It was amazing. Like it was just like incredible how talented these teams are and the quality that they have. And so that was the first leg. So the second leg, this sets up a winner take all game where the winner on Tuesday moves on to the Champions League final. I am going to lay a little bit of juice here because I want to keep my streak alive. But I'm going to take Barcelona to advance. It's at minus 145 on DraftKings. So I just think Barcelona's better. They have more dangerous players. They have this kid, Yamal, who's like the new Messi. This kid's 17 and he's dribbling circles around everybody. He's the next big thing in European soccer. Inter's a little bit gassed. They've had a ton of important games lately. So I don't care with this bet whether Barcelona wins in normal time, extra time, or in penalties. It doesn't matter how they do it. My best bet is Barcelona to advance to the Champions League final. You get that at minus 145 on DraftKings as we go for 4 in a row here on the best bets.
Hey, well, after the show, make sure you text me that because I'm going to play that and I won't remember that bet by tomorrow morning. Also, if the Blues do go to a Game 7, I got to give a shout out here to Johnny D. Last Sunday, we had flag football games, and Johnny D is very invested in the Blues for reasons I won't say, but he brought his radio, and I'm looking up in the stands at him, and he's giving me the score. It's 1-1, he's 2-1. So Sunday, it's probably going to be another afternoon game, and we do have flag football. It's going to be a Sunday night.
We don't know for sure.
Game. Yeah, it's the only game on Sunday, so yeah, it'll probably be a night game. But yeah,
well, hopefully. But if it's not, Johnny D will be having to give me the scores again Sunday in the stand. So I just appreciate that from Johnny D. That was awesome.
Johnny D, loyal listener here of Domesticated Gamblers. We know he's going to be on the Blues for his home team play of the week. These are our favorite plays from the games involving the local teams. Tito, I got 2 of them I like for the home clubs.
Wow!
You're changing it up.
I do it. I like the Blues team total over 2.5 in game 6. Like Hellebuck gives up 3 goals, at least in playoff games. It's what he does. I think this guy, the Blues just didn't shoot enough in game 5. I think if they put enough pucks on net, they would have put plenty past this guy. So I think of the Blues, you talked about that shot prop earlier in the show, Shawn. I think if the Blues go over the shot prop, they're going to win the game because Hellebuck's going to give up at least 3. I think Benner, he's going to show up big. I think he gives up 2 at most. So I really like the Blues team total, but I actually love the City +1 bet at Seattle even more. That's my home team play of the week. I think we get a push at worst on that. So I'm on City +1 even money, +100 for my home team play of the week. Shawn, what do you got for yours?
I'm going to go over 22.5 shots on goal
against
Connor Hellebuck, +105. I like that. I think the boys, it's do or die. They're going to have to put pucks on the net all day long. It's the only way we're going to score. And hopefully we're chanting Connor. So let's go Blues.
I love it, man. I think that's sharp. I like that play. Tito, hopefully get a clean sweep on these. Home team play of the week. He's optimistic here as he's getting ready for his vasectomy. He's having some happy thoughts. Optimism. That's good. So what do you got here?
Total optimism. I've been singing the Blues praises ever since 4 Nations. Blues are going to take care of business. We're going with the money line play of the week. Money line with the Blues. Going to take care of business Friday night against Winnipeg. And I can't wait for a game 7 on Sunday, baby. Tito's going to be fired up. He's going to have the peas. He's going to have the frozen corn, all of his nuts. And I'm going to be holding Connor Hellebuck and those broad fans in Winnipeg. All 10 of you in Winnipeg. Big woof. I'm going to be holding you accountable right from my love seat, baby. Woo!
Something to think about is puck line with the Blues. Laying a goal and a half at +220. That's not a bad play.
I mean, they could roll these guys. We saw it in games 3 and 4. They might. I really do think the Blues are going to come out hot. Like anytime you get a team, you notice they were immediately in the post-game quotes after game 5. They're like Belichick. They're like immediately on to game 6. We're on to game 6. I just think they know they just. I don't know how you don't have like the right amount of energy in a playoff game, but just Winnipeg really took it to them. I think the Blues come out with a big response in game 6.
Don't you think the NHL wants games on Sunday? They want that, right? Don't you
think these Zebras are too incompetent to even rig a game, even if they tried. Like
I'm not saying rigging, but don't you think the NHL wants that, right?
Oh, of course. Like why wouldn't
prime time? Come on, I think it happens.
I don't know, man. Well, we shall see. It's going to be.
Listen, 2 months ago, if you would have told us we were going to Game 6 against the Jets, anybody would have took it in St. Louis.
Yep, 10 times out of 10. So this Friday in St. Louis, it's going to be one of the hopefully a very memorable night here with just 3 games going on within 15 minutes of each other. It's going to be a great night in downtown St. Louis. That's going to do it for our show, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the Sports Hub STL YouTube channel, and support those advertisers, guys. It is really easy to do. And for real, you are going to love doing business with both of them. You can buy some of those yummy cookies from Samonides Sweets. Just click the link in the YouTube description to go to SamonidesSweets.com, order some cookies and get them delivered to your home. And everyone out there, get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. Tito did it, and I would say we won't go into the specifics. I would say you were very happy with your decision to get a quote from James Carlton. Again, I have an extra $800 in my pocket this year because I made the switch. See what he can do for you. The phone number is 314-961-4800 or online at carltoninsurance.net. You'll see his info in the YouTube description as well. Great show, boys. For Shawn, for Tito, I'm Eric. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on Sports Hub STL, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thanks for being with us, guys, and we will see you next Friday.
Yeah, let's cash.